I thought if we ever broke up, I would feel this tremendous sense of relief. I could go back to being myself. But something happened. I fell in love with you or something. And I stopped being a loner.
Dylan, I think that's wonderful.
I think it's terrible.
You can look the other way once, and it's no big deal. Except it makes it easier for you to compromise the next time. And pretty soon, that's all you're doing is compromising because that's how you think things are done.
It's the Al Travis Show. We love having him in here every couple of weeks. We get Seth in. Seth on hockey. Seth, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning, Al. We are doing great. Just
Liar. Folks who don't know, when we talk a little bit before we go on the air, Seth is whining. For folks who know, Seth does the PA announcing at the Mavs hockey games. But obviously, you also do play-by-play because you did a late-night play-by-play last night. Give us the scoop.
Yeah, triple OT for the Section 3A Boys Hockey Championship. And Laverne was the number 1 seed, Mankato West the 2 seed. And it took every bit of the third overtime, but the Scarlets able to get a tap-in goal off of a rebound. And they pull off the upset. They are headed to the state tournament next week.
Well, congratulations to that. At the time, I presume, a triple overtime, you're pretty jazzed up. You're making the call. That's cool. But you don't just turn it off, go to bed, and you're ready to roll. I mean, right? I mean, there's wind down time on something like that.
Yeah, and especially with the Wild playing last night as well. I think the last number I saw on my clock was 1:30. So, yeah.
I don't even see 1:30 on New Year's Eve. All right, so good for you. Good for the Mankato folks moving forward. Let me ask you this before we get to all the other stuff. You obviously watch some Olympics.
Yes.
Okay. Women. This is not to shortchange them. I'm not trying to get this into a sexist thing. It became that, and it shouldn't have been. But the women outclassed all the other women teams from top to bottom. Not that they couldn't have lost in overtime, I get that. But they were the class of the field, correct? The women in hockey. Okay.
They were the best team in the tournament, Canada being the second best team. And, it was not a shock that both U.S. and Canada came together for the gold medal game. I think people maybe expected it to be a little wider of a margin, but Canada was good.
What that lady hockey, the goalie, she gave up like 1 goal in the entire Olympics? I mean, standing on your head. So I'm not putting anything down. Congratulations, ladies. That is huge. You did what we wanted you to do, and that could have went the other way. But on the men's side, it's just a scotch different. When I watched the men's Yugoslavian team, whatever it was, the game before they went to the finals, it had a speed to it, a flow to it. It was good hockey. I enjoyed it. I mean, we kicked their backside, which I really enjoyed. But the Canadian team, I don't know. It was like my TV was on fast forward the whole time. They were a whole step above everyone else, as far as I could tell, speed-wise. Was there a team as fast as Canada in the Olympics?
No, and you expect that too because, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, probably 1 and 2 as far as best players on the planet go, and they're both playing on the same line. So that's just a freakish amount of ability that Canada possessed, which I think just further underscores how big of a win that was for Team USA to turn them away.
So this is my steering us to where I want to go. So the USA team does win. They weren't favored. As I watched that hockey game, it was like they're pummeling. It looked like an extra guy on the field. I mean, they were just pummeling us, and we get the win. But that's hockey, right? Our goalie did remarkable, and you win in overtime. All the stuff, the busted tooth, the game. This was the next generation's, miracle on ice, right? Yeah. It wasn't quite against the Shelvies, but here we are. Kid with no tooth. He's got the flag around him and his gold medal, and these guys were superstars. Now, no fault of their own. I don't, you invite the FBI director into the clubhouse because he's a hockey guy, and who cares? You're there, you're throwing the beards around, you're having fun, and the president calls over, and the president says something stupid. No, shocker. Sometimes this guy does that. I'm just throwing it out there. Red hot take. Says something about, I'm going to invite you to the thing. Yeah, that'd be great. I better invite the women too. And it's him. It's not right. Shouldn't have put it that way. Shouldn't have brought it up if you didn't want to get this. But should these men on this hockey team, I say men, 18, 19-year-old men, and to the women on the women's side, have to have a newsman in their face all week long saying, well, what do you think about that? Aren't you offended by the thing? And shouldn't you turn it? Can they not just have a gold medal and be happy as all get out and say, you go talk to the president. You got to talk about this. He said it.
Well, and I think you saw that in the reaction, especially on the women's side. There were so many women's players that were, talking about the level of respect, and I thought it was interesting that Brock Faber of the Minnesota Wild said, "I wish everybody was able to see the sorts of interactions and the sorts of genuine support that we had off camera, that were captured in the locker rooms, that the stuff that is not out there for the public to see." And I think both sides, both the men's and the women's teams at this point, are just ready to kind of move on from this.
And shouldn't they? I mean, they always want to make this politics. It's young kids playing their hearts out. I know the president said just let it flop. Do you not just let this one drop and go talk to the president about it? I just feel bad they have to take that kind of gauntlet of questions.
Yeah, because it should be about the fact that the men's team won gold for the first time since 1980, and the women's team capped off this incredible run to the gold medal game. That's what it should be about, and
Well, and crushing Canada, let's be honest, it's in there. I want to throw this at you because you're going to hate me for saying it, but we got to be honest in the program. I know you think hockey's all that, but in reality, hockey's all that between Seth and the Canadians. But hockey in America is like number 4, right?
Yeah.
And yet we're still gold medalists. Take that, Canada. Boom.
Yeah,
Truth bomb.
I mean, you look at here in the United States, and it's probably dueling with the NBA for kind of that winter viewership.
Yeah.
It depends on what order you want to rank them in, but the NFL is clearly top dog. Major League Baseball, if they go into the lockout, they're going to be 4 real quick. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that might be the reason the Minnesota Twins have put nothing into this team. They're banking on a lockout anyway. We're gonna stack our cash. All right, we got to talk a little bit about the hockey itself. Let's go. Your thoughts on all these players coming back, playing for their teams, and separating, right? Guys going to Canada from the U.S. team. Everybody got to go back. Do you feel that there's that bond there that these guys will always have, even if they're on the other team? Or is that just like, that was fun for 2 weeks?
100%. I think they will always be linked through this run and this gold medal. They're going to be immortalized as a team for that accomplishment. And I think, there is kind of that bond, that brotherhood off the ice. Now, on the ice, I'm sure it will be competitors as usual. But, yeah, I think those guys are going to be linked forever. And I'm sure there were some friendships that were forged that will carry on after even well after the Olympics.
How much money do the Hughes brothers make off that toothless gap thing? I mean, you want them on your team like nobody, even the good hockey players, you bet. But he is the face of the United States and hockey right now, right?
Yeah, and you saw that the first game that the Devils played, he got a standing ovation from the crowd, getting a chance to celebrate that gold medal. And Quinn Hughes having a great time here in Minnesota. He's going to go do Saturday Night Live this weekend. So he's certainly drawing national recognition too.
What do we do with Boldy? I need to ask you this. I don't watch enough hockey. Golfers try to do the little ball thing on the end of your 9-iron, stand there and bounce the ball. Hard enough when both your feet are standing flat on the ground and you're looking straight down at it. This cat is going 30 miles an hour on the ice between two guys with sticks that are trying to keep you from going forward. And he does that pancake flipping thing with the puck before he gets it. How hard is that? And do other players do that? Am I missing something? Have I not seen this play?
No, it's very difficult. And it just speaks to, I think, the level of skill that Matt Boldy possesses, that we are starting to see him fully unlock. I mean, ever since the playoff series against Vegas last year, he has been just a completely different player. And it has transcended to every level of competition. I mean, scoring the first goal in the gold medal game of the Olympics. Yeah. Think about that. When's the last time we had a Wild player that was in position to do that?
Well, scoring the first one is the freakishly way he did it. I expect a slap shot. I expect something to tip and go in. not juggling the thing between two very good defenders. I mean, to me, that was just put that on a poster. I mean, that was it. Not that there's anything wrong with a game winner, but the game winner, yeah, right, it was a goal you see in hockey.
Put that on the Wheaties box.
Yeah, it's the draped over gold medal flag around him, toothless thing. That's there. We got to go to break. We'll talk about actual NHL and the college stuff coming up right after this. I've got him. Seth on hockey.
Chanhassen Dinner Theatres proudly presents Guys and Dolls, packed with comedy, romance, dazzling dance numbers, and unforgettable characters. This Tony Award-winning Best Musical takes you from the gritty streets of New York to the colorful cafes of Havana. It's a high-rolling musical spectacular everyone will love. Don't wait. Visit chanhassendt.com and grab your tickets today. Guys and Dolls. Chanhassen Dinner Theatres, always entertaining you.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
A lot to get to. It's Seth on hockey. Let's stick with the Minnesota Wild for this Minnesota Wild team now in second place in the Central. Only 5 points out. I ask you this first. With 23 games to play, is that enough room for us to catch the Colorado Avalanche, who's lost one in a row, but we're 6 in a row right now in the win column? Could we catch them?
I think this is more attainable certainly now, especially considering that the Wild did start off the second half of the season with a 5-2 win over said Avalanche. So they have a couple of head-to-head wins against Colorado this year, and the Avs just since the beginning of the season where they were on pace to shatter like NHL records, they just have not been the same team that we've seen since. So yes, I think I think the Central Division, I'm officially declaring it today. I think the Central Division is up for grabs.
Oh, wow. Because you got Stars right behind us, right? So that's what you're talking about. And even with the same, well, I guess after that, Utah's a little bit farther behind. Okay, so this is up for grabs. Is Hughes the difference maker?
Yeah.
This team, okay, that's just stating the obvious, because since he came on, this team has absolutely started going up the charts. It's all Hughes.
He has turned this team into the offensive type attack that matches what a lot of other teams are doing in the league. I mean, they didn't have that gear before Quinn Hughes came on board, and now that he is in the fold, I mean, you're getting impact from your forward group. You're getting impact from the defensemen as well. So getting that attack from both sides has just turned this team into a much better offensive team. They're number one in the NHL in goals since Quinn Hughes came on board.
Wow, that's a difference maker. That's good job by them. I got to get into the college a little bit here. You, of course, do the PA announcing for the Minnesota State Mavericks. They've moved up a couple of spots since last we talked. They're in fourth place in the the CCHA.
Yeah.
Your thoughts there? Is Augustana that much better than us? St. Thomas, Michigan Tech?
Let me paint the picture for you here this week.
Okay.
The Mavericks could finish anywhere from first to, I believe, fifth is the highest they could fall if they were to get swept this weekend. They have Northern Michigan, who is not good. So they should win. They pretty much have to win both of those games, and I think they should win those comfortably. But if St. Thomas splits with Bemidji State, and if Michigan Tech splits with Bowling Green, the Mavericks win the McNaughton Cup, because Augustana is done for the year, so they've already played all their games. So if the Mavericks get to 52 points, a split for St. Thomas and Michigan Tech would get them both to 51, and then the Mavericks are your conference champions.
Wow, so this is a big weekend.
Yes, this is a massive weekend. A lot of scoreboard watching for those of us in the media realm. Hopefully the Mavericks just focus on the task at hand on the ice. I think they will, and just pick up the 2 wins and put the pressure on everybody else.
Well, okay, and on that, as we're getting through this, do you use the USCHA or CHO numbers? Is that what they go by as far as the rankings? Is that what they use?
Yeah, it's that, and it's the NPI, I think it's called.
Okay,
I'm glad that I'm maybe kind of starting to get the hang of this as the season draws to its final weekends.
But the two are different because they rank them differently. When I look at the USCHO, Minnesota State's at 18, St. Thomas at 17, Michigan Tech 16, Augustana at 15. Well, you're going to want to be in that top 16, right, to get yourself into the tournament, unless you got to win your thing out. When you then bring up the NPI, again, a lot of later numbers and stuff, it's all different. Minnesota State is at 15, St. Thomas at 16, Augustana at 17, Michigan Tech at 18. They got them upside down. What would they use?
I believe they would use the NPI as far as the rankings go there. And that is more of a power index than it is the actual like pairwise formula that we're used to. But the fact that the Mavericks are in that 15 spot does them a lot of good, because you want to be in that top 16.
No, I understand that, but in their own conference, they're behind all three of the teams underneath them in that rankings. It makes no sense to me. Oh, we just played these guys all year long. We're at the bottom of those four, if everything stayed the same, and yet we're ranked higher. I'm missing something. It seems like favoritism, my friend.
Well, it depends on what happens this weekend. I mean, if the Mavericks end up on top, it's the point is lessened. Then I would hope that they hop up in the rankings above all those teams then.
In all of that, could other teams fall out of that top 16 that would leave the CCHA with 2, 3, 4 teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you look at any of those teams in the CCHA, Augustana, Michigan Tech, St. Thomas in particular, if they don't take care of their business this weekend, I would imagine that they would fall closer to 18, 17. No. I was thinking any of the other teams that higher up than us, could they fall out and bring a foursome with us? No. Yeah, it's possible, but I think the one that is the most surprising is Wisconsin, who was at the top of the rankings for the whole season, and now they have fallen and they're
the
down
13th.
Yeah, so they might be one to watch, but I still think they'll have enough to be able to stay in the top spots.
Well, this is going to get darn exciting. Seth, I appreciate you very much coming on and taking the time to chat with us. It's always a pleasure, my friend. And boy, you got another late night tonight.
Ha. We'll get sleep sometime.
All right. Seth, I appreciate you. I really do.
Thanks, Al.
He's Seth on hockey on the Al Travis Show.
At LGH Wealth Management, our mission is to create financial